So we are going to continue today with lesson 16, and this is part 3. Lesson 16 is about finding slopes and equations of lines. So here it is asking us to graph a linear equation. It says graph the line that has the equation y is equal to negative 5x plus 3. Now the two things we need to remember is that y equals mx plus b. M is lowercase, b is lowercase, so we know we're talking about slope and the y-intercept. We're talking about slope and y-intercept. So now we have this information we can look at from here. Our equation is negative 5x plus 3. That means that our slope is equal to negative 5. Our b, our y-intercept, is equal to positive 3. So that means that if we look at our y-axis, one going up and down, it is going to cross at the number 3. So we go up 1, 2, 3. Now the slope is negative. If we remember, negative means we're going this direction. It's going to be going down as we move from left to right. So it's going down 5. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 5. And I'm always going over 1. Because any number, remember we want the, so if you remember last time I talked about how we always want our slope to be in a fraction form, an improper fraction if possible. So here we have negative 5 over 1. So once again, that is, you're going down 5 over 1. So we take our second point there. I like having as many points as I can, but you just draw your line going through those 2 points, make it as good as you can, and you have. So now we look at this one. It says graph the line that has the equation 2y minus 4x is equal to 7. So this is in, it is close to standard form. I don't know why it's called standard form because it's not really the way you see most lines done, and standard means it's the way you see it the most often. But you don't really see equations in standard form, but it's just the way it is called. So here it should be 4x minus 2y is equal to negative 7, but that is not something we need. So now we have these two pieces. We need we need m and b. This is one of the things that I was actually yelled at by my teacher. So I will show you the way that I figured this out as I was doing this. I'm going to rewrite it as negative 4x plus 2y is equal to 7, because that's how it should be written. And the way you do this, Mr. Sturdy's method of finding the slope is you take a line, you put it through your x, and you put a negative out front. So this minus negative turns into plus. And so we have the number positive 4 over 2. 4 over 2, which you should know is 4 divided by 2 is 2. And that equals 10. Now, the other way that you can do it is you can solve for y. So I'll show how to do that. So we have 2y minus 4x is equal to 7. You want y all alone, so the way you get y alone is you add 4x plus 4x. One side of our equation has to happen on the other side. That is the rules for equation. So here we have 2y isn't touched, 2y, we'll cancel that out, is equal to, we have 4x plus 7, we divide by 2, we divide by 2, we divide by 2. We have y is equal to 4 divided by 2 is 2x, and then this is going to be plus 3 and 5 tenths. Now the way you do it over here we have that m, or b is going to be, so we take out our x term. And we have 2y is equal to 7. We just divide by 2, divide by 2. We have the b is equal to 3 and 5 tenths. So we end up with y is equal to 2x plus 3.5. I think this way is easier, but if you do not think this way is easier and you think this way is easier, you should totally do this way. Do whatever makes the most amount of sense to you. This is just a way that I figured out. I was when I was learning this and was like, why don't they teach it that way? So that's kind of why I'm showing you this. There are many, many different ways of doing math. And if you can find a way that's easier for you, do it that way. So now it says graph the line of the equation. Graph the line with the equation y is equal to 3 minus 1/3 x. So the first thing we want to do is make it in the form of y equals mx plus b. It is close. We do have y all alone, but we want to move our slope up front. So we have y is equal to negative 1/3 x plus. I have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our y-intercept is 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. We draw our coordinate axes. We want to make sure we are labeling them. So now we start off at positive 3. 1, 2, 3. We have a slope of negative 1/3. That means we go down 1 over 1, 2, 3. Now, I personally, when I'm drawing a line, I want to make sure that I have as much of that line drawn as I can. So go down 1 over 1, 2, 3. You go up 1 over 1, 2, 3. Up 1 over 1, 2, 3. I want as many dots on my page, that way that it makes it so that I am the closest that I can get to the line itself, as long as I make sure I go through each of those dots. It is very difficult to draw a straight line. This is how I have found to make my line as straight as I can. Next one, it says graph the equation, graph the line with the equation 3x plus y is 6. Once again, this is in standard form. I will show both ways of doing this. You put a line through your x and you put a negative out front. So we have m is equal to negative 3. And then we have b, cross this off. We have y is equal to 6. If what I just did doesn't make sense, what you should do is you should solve for y. We should just solve for y. So the way last thing happened to y before it became 6 is we added 3x. So we get rid of the plus 3x and subtract 3x minus 3x. And we have y is equal to negative 3x. This is stuff that makes y all alone plus 6. Now we want to draw our axes. Axes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we put our dot at 6 because our b is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our slope is -3. Remember that is -3 over 1. So we go down 1, go down 1, 2, 3 over 1. 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 Oh, and I forgot to label this. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, -5. And now that we have all of our dots going across, we can connect them as easily as we can. All right, so that is part 3.